But SAYBROOK College, they basically just strip naked. Yeah. But I think that is, I think it's a fun tradition. Alright, so this is the part where I try to make the thumbnail. How's it going, everyone? My name is Arnold, and today we're going to be doing the hashtag Ask Arnie Q&A video. I don't know, okay. Alright, you know what, here's the honest truth, okay? So when I record these videos, I'm actually recording it right, so like there's the street, and there are like constant cars going back and forth, but I don't know if you guys can actually hear the cars. But, you know, we're going to be working with what we have, okay? That being said, please ignore the cars if you can. Subscribe so we can get a better budget so we don't have to be in this area. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. Stop it. So last week in the community tab, I made a post saying use hashtag Ask Arnie if you want to ask any questions about Yale College, my life, or anything. So here we have a bunch of questions. You probably can't see anything, but here are questions that we have. I gathered them together. So let's go and get straight into it and answer all of them. Fix that. All right, first off, what is it about the Yale community that makes it so special and different from other colleges? It doesn't have to be general. It can be something specific and special to you in regards to the community. Okay, so this question is really, really tough because I'm most likely going to be giving a very cliche answer, but I'm going to try my best to be unique and different, but I'm not going to force it, okay? I'm not going to force it. By the way, this is not scripted at all. This is like the first time I'm seeing any of these questions. But as for your question, I think that one thing that is very, very special about Yale is truly how inclusive it is. I think that we have such a very, very awesome, diverse population of students, and at the end of the day, I say this a lot, but I think that everyone at Yale, especially when you just start, you know, you're just kids for the most part, right? You're just kids who graduated from high school and who have some passions, have some interests, but you know, you're still very nervous and you're still just very excited. Thank you, Car. You're still very excited and anxious to start this college thing, but every single individual is unique and special in their own way. They have their own hobbies and they have their own quirks to them, and also the atmosphere at Yale is just so very, very friendly, and you can pretty much vocalize your opinion and do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting other people. But it's very, very expressive, very, very safe, and I think we're also very laid back and humble as well, so you don't really have negative pressure to sort of beat somebody in terms of getting the better grade or whatever. There's no unhealthy competition, no toxic vibes. Harvard. Now, we love Harvard, it's just banter at the end of the day. But yeah, I think that at Yale, you know, you'll always sort of feel motivated because everybody around you is sort of doing their own thing, and there are many people who are actually still finding what they want to do. Not everybody knows exactly what they want to do. Everyone always switches majors, switches their interests. You'll be able to make a lot of friends, and also Yale has so many resources in the community, whether it's extracurriculars or opportunities to study abroad or anything. There are just so many resources. But realistically, I also think that I don't think this is a major issue, but definitely in my first year I had this sort of had this feeling of FOMO sometimes, fear of missing out. But basically, especially at the start, you're exposed to a lot of extracurriculars, a lot of resources, a lot of mentors and everything. So there were times where if I took like a half hour or 1 hour nap, the moment I woke up, I'd just be in panic mode all of a sudden because I'm like, oh shoot, did I miss an event? Did I not finish my homework? Why is my chair moving by itself? Oh gosh. Did I miss an event? Did I miss the dinner time? Did I forget to submit homework? Do I have to get homework done before so I can sleep well tonight? There are a lot of things like that can happen. But I feel like in any college, it's all about time management and balancing everything out. But for sure at Yale, this community is truly amazing, beautiful. Yale has a bunch of beautiful, amazing people with great personalities, very humble, very open to share their ideas and individual interests without coming off very snobby or arrogant. Also, I pretty much have to mention this. It is required by Yale law to mention this. Yale has 14 different residential colleges. Each college is a microcosm, blah, 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 blah. Each college has their own unique group of students and different resources and facilities. Have your own traditions. I have a video on Pearson College, my college, so check that out over here. I talk about that more in depth. Were there any courses or professors that were very influential? If so, what were they and how did they inspire you? So I am going to focus more on the professor part, I guess, because I kind of talk about my classes in other videos, but I think all the professors here at Yale are like top notch. Literally, they are such amazing professors. For one professor in one class, I guess, is taking Chinese. I talk about that in this video is just going to be plugging other videos. But I talk about that in this video on how I learned Chinese. But at Yale, it really re-sparked my interest and basically my first year, Yale gave me the opportunity to relearn Chinese as it was part of the language requirement at Yale. So I started all the way from level 1 to level 4 my sophomore year, and this summer I'm actually taking an intensive Chinese language summer program. And the Chinese staff are just some of the most amazing, sweet people. They genuinely care for you. They're like your own mothers and best friends at the same time. And the classes are always so fun because they involve all the students in the examples, and there's such a huge camaraderie in everybody sucking at the language and wanting to learn and improve one step at a time. So both of my different teachers for my Chinese classes were definitely influential in helping me learn more about my Chinese culture, learn more about the language, and just being very caring and supportive, especially in the beginning years of Yale University. I think we should also mention about the TAs. Yale has teaching assistants. Yale has teaching assistants, which are basically the professors, not friends, basically are graduate students in that field. For example, in political science, you would have TAs, teaching assistants, who are either in graduate school or doing research for political science for that specific class. These people also have so much experience, very knowledgeable. Definitely reach out to them. I think you should reach out to professors and TAs. They're amazing people, amazing resources. Definitely take advantage of them. But also a lot of professors in like my theater classes, they are actually professional directors, actors, playwrights. They got their hands dirty in the field, and they are actually like pretty much world renowned for their stuff. I look up to them a lot. All right, Yale just released their essay topics. Maybe you could give us tips on that. And also SAT 2s, Yale said they're not considered, but they could be sent because you might not want to send your AP scores. All right, so for the second part of the question, I think that especially because of the pandemic, the SAT score is no longer required. It's no longer a requirement, so you will not be penalized at all if you don't submit it. So don't feel pressured, but if you do submit it, I feel like it'll still help you out in allowing the admissions office to show basically how great you are academically. It could definitely help bolster your application. But Yale actually has a Spotify podcast with the Yale admissions office, which is very, very helpful, very, very useful, in which the admissions officers actually talk about the admissions process. But yeah, I feel like any other website or YouTube channel will say this. SAT 2 scores and AP scores for Yale, at least specifically, they are not required, especially because there's so many students from different backgrounds who don't even have the opportunity to take AP classes. I think I'm speaking pretty quickly. And for me personally, I got a 2 on my AP chemistry exam, didn't submit that. I took the SAT 2 exams. I bombed those. I didn't submit those either. So once again, context is key, and there's truly a holistic approach on your application. Grades are just one thing. There's also the extracurriculars, your personality. Thank you, Car. Other important factors are your personality, extracurriculars, recommendations. Your test scores are important. And my recommendations for like AP scores and SAT 2s, if you do take them, make sure that you have the time to study for them and to do well in them, so then you can submit them. But it's also recommended to have them in fields that you're specifically interested in. For example, if you're a STEM person, maybe have SAT 2s and AP scores in the STEM related fields. But then again, the process is much more broader than you think. If you have any more questions, just leave them down below. I'm sure I can answer them more in depth, but this Q&A is just more of a casual, informal Q&A in which I just sort of say my ideas on the spot. In terms of the essay topics, let me check that out real quick. I don't actually, yeah. Alright, so based on these topics, the essays are pretty much similar, if not the same, to the topics that I had when I was applying to Yale. So if you want to watch a video on that, I'll make sure to leave that down in the description down below, in which I talk about it more in depth. But I think that generally, one of the main things about these essays, and one common theme that I see, is talking about like your own experiences and things that you're interested in and things that have helped you develop personally. And I think that this is a great opportunity to talk about different aspects of you that still constitute who you are fully. Let me explain. So for example, maybe one of the questions you can talk about your interest in like science, and the other question you can talk about your family background or cultural background. And then you can use those two different things, but still somehow be able to link those two different ideas together to form the person that you are. For example, I still follow the same rules of showing, don't tell. Don't explicitly be like, this is my passion. Try to show it with your words and show it through specific anecdotes and stories that convey who you are as a person. Add some humor, add some personality into it, but don't force it. Show why a specific circumstance was able to influence you and change your outlook, and make sure that this essay is about you and you only. You can still use other people and other things as inspiration, but make sure that this is focused on you and you have a genuine tone when you write it. Rewriting is good, but don't rewrite it too much to the point it sounds contrived or fake. How much do AP scores play a role in admission? Also, what can we do during the pandemic? What can we do during the pandemic to enhance our college applications? So Yasi actually answers that question in the international Q&A video, but I'll give a shot at it, even though I don't think I'll do any better than her. But AP scores, as I mentioned before, they're not required at all, but if your school does provide AP classes, I do recommend that you do take them, and that if you do well on them, it'll always be a great benefit to have a 4 or a 5 on the AP exam and to show it to them. But if you don't do too well, don't beat yourself up about it. Like I said, I got a 2 on my AP exam. I didn't submit it at all. Context is key, and there's so many other aspects of your application that colleges place huge importance on. And in terms of the pandemic, this is a very difficult question because everybody will have different answers. But in general, I say that it's okay to take some time off to rejuvenate a bit and to take care of yourself mentally and physically. I think it's very, very important to make sure that your whole entire body, that you are doing very well, that you are healthy, because it's only through your vessel that you're able to continue to pursue your interests and figure some other stuff out. Once again, you don't have to do anything crazy, but I recommend that you do something that can show that you're a very self-disciplined individual and that you're consistent throughout this time. Even during the pandemic, you are still able to do something and impress colleges. Just to know that you're not allowing this situation to change you or your interests, but you're allowing this situation, you're using this situation as an opportunity to improve your lifestyle, to learn new things, to figure things out, to develop and find more creative ways to do things that aren't as feasible because of the pandemic. It's how you make this story. What are some Yale College traditions that you enjoy? The SAYBROOK strip. The SAYBROOK strip is basically where every year the Harvard-Yale football game, SAYBROOK College, they have their own section. Pretty much during the game, I forgot exactly when. I don't know exactly what the tradition is because I'm in Pearson College, not in SAYBROOK College. Yale has different residential colleges. I say that a lot. But SAYBROOK College, they basically just strip naked. Yeah. But I think that is, I think it's a fun tradition. There's so many traditions we have, like waving this white snot handkerchief thing. I forgot what it's called. But also the Harvard-Yale football game. That's always fun, where we have a football game with Harvard University. We switch locations, sometimes in New Haven at Yale, and the next year is going to be at Harvard in Fenway, Massachusetts. First years have a lot of traditions, like the first year formal, which is kind of like a modified version of prom in high school. And there's also, I forgot what it's called, but there's this first day in the first week at Yale during orientation where you sort of just battle it out with all the other residential colleges in like sports and competitions. It's always so fun. But I think Yale does a really good job in fostering the community and having traditions that just, dang, I miss Yale so much. Oh my gosh, genuinely. And each residential college also has their own traditions. Like Pearson, we have Pearson Day, where we have like a bunch of free food, food trucks and not monster trucks, blow up, like balloon, what's it called? Inflatable castles, bouncy houses, just a lot of fun stuff. What is your favorite video game and TV show on Netflix? Okay, so video game. I love Pokemon. Fun fact, I was actually a Pokemon YouTuber before all this. I think I did pretty well actually as a little 12, 13, 14-year-old, I think. I love Pokemon from the RPG to competitive battling, but I honestly don't really play that much video games, but I try my best to play things like Roblox, for example, with my family every now and then, because it's a very accessible game that everybody loves and everyone plays in my family. It's a great way to bond with them, but I personally never really got into the whole entire gaming thing. It's a blessing and a curse, but if you do game, it's a very fun thing. It has great mental benefits, but obviously too much of one thing can be detrimental to your health, so balance that out. Yeah. As for Netflix, it used to be Friends because Friends was on Netflix, but now it's not anymore. I don't really watch too many shows on Netflix, but I am watching Modern Family with my girlfriend right now. It's a fun, amazing, funny show. But I also watch Sex Education. I think that's a very good show. I suck at this. There are probably more other favorite shows, but Modern Family is like the show that I'm watching right now. How did your experience at Yale differ from your expectations? I was genuinely surprised at how supportive everybody was. I thought that was going to be a community where everyone was sort of just focused on their own individual pursuits and very arrogant and just like, you know, kind of like smart asses and stuff. But no, everyone is genuinely there to collaborate and help you improve, and you guys can constantly learn from each other, and just so nice. And Yale honestly has just exceeded my expectations in very, very positive ways. It's changed my life, probably one of the biggest decisions, greatest things that happened to me in my life. It helped my family out, especially financially, because I was able to get a full ride with it, which is honestly a true blessing for me. And I think that Yale, the academics, the resources, the friends, the professors, the environment, the campus is still very beautiful. I think it's a great college, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to have the opportunity to honestly attend college and to do all this stuff for my family, for myself, for my future. What is your favorite food? I love Asian food. I love pho. I love pho. Pho is amazing. Pho, hot pot, sushi, all you can eat sushi. I'm so basic. Yeah, those are just my favorite foods, but I also have very weird cravings for things like McDonald's and Burger King sometimes. Not really Burger King, I'm lying. But I love pizza too. I love, sometimes I have a craving for like fake Chinese food, you know, like Americanized Chinese food, not actual Chinese food. My girlfriend's Chinese, she's gonna kill me. But yeah, I have weird cravings sometimes, like dumplings. Ooh, I love dumplings, yeah. I love buffets, but then you feel so bloated afterwards. You gotta be very strategic when you're eating at an all-you-can-eat place or a buffet place. That is a very huge, important lesson that I learned. Don't order too much, sample, take your time, don't drink too much water. Yeah, was that the question? Did you regret choosing Yale over any other universities that you've applied to? No, not one bit. Fun fact, I only applied to Yale single choice early action. I have a video on that as well. I don't regret it at all. I don't regret only applying to Yale University. It's an amazing college. It's close, it's nearby. Based on what everything that I said already, I think Yale has been an amazing college for me and my development. Hi Arnie, I'm a high school junior who is thinking about double majoring in college. How difficult is it to double major at Yale, and is the workload manageable? I don't think double majoring is hard per se at Yale, and I definitely think that the workload is manageable. A lot of students actually double major at Yale, but it also depends on your specific majors. But at the end of the day, the short and quick and easy answer is that it is definitely manageable. I believe that you can do it. I have so many friends, including myself, who are double majoring. But just make sure that you, although they say to take your time with it, I think that you should definitely start and consider the process early, because otherwise it's going to be hard for you to sort of catch up on credits if you don't have specific requirements. So have a solid foundation so you can build up from there, start exploring your interests early, so then you can decide on your double major, or if you want to just major. And I think my voice cracked, but I'm trying to act cool, so it's fine. But yeah, it's definitely manageable. Last question, why did you decide to apply through the Common App instead of QuestBridge? So this is a big question. Basically, I applied single choice early action to Yale University with the Common App, and QuestBridge is basically this nonprofit organization, this program that helps low-income, generally first-generation students, high school students apply to colleges, and they give them opportunities by allowing you to match yourself with different partner colleges like Yale University, and you can sometimes use their application to apply to Yale University. And the QuestBridge application does a very good job in highlighting specific circumstances that low-income first-generation students who have faced adversity can really sort of tailor the application to. So in order to apply to Yale through QuestBridge, you have to be accepted as a National College Match finalist. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be accepted as a National College Match finalist, but instead of proceeding with the application as a National College Match finalist, I just used that finalist award and put it in the award section in my Common App. Overall, I chose the Common App because it was just very easy. I think the Common App is very simple, very straightforward, and it just worked very well with my teachers for the letter of recommendations. And this might not be right, but one advantage that I sort of saw using the Common App was, I don't mean to sound rude or shallow when I say this, but in the QuestBridge applications, all of the applicants who are using the QuestBridge applications are kids like you who have faced adversity, who are amazingly talented and worked very hard with different circumstances, being first generation, low income. But a lot of the people who are using the Common App sometimes include like kids who are not like that, like middle class students or like rich kids from a variety of backgrounds. So my way of thinking was that if I was able to put a low income first generation student sort of story in the Common App, in which a lot of the people using the Common App don't really necessarily follow that demographic, I thought that it would be a great way to sort of distinguish myself, because I was still able to convey my unique situations in the additional information section of the Common App, in all the different essay topics, and through my recommendations. So I just thought that, hey, I could maybe have a different edge in the Common App because I'm a low-income student, rather than being a low-income student in the QuestBridge application, in which many of the students are low-income anyways. But once again, this can be faulty thinking. This is just what I did, what I thought. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and click on the bell notification icon. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, once again, thank you so much. Hopefully I can be making more content. I've just been very busy this summer. But let me know what you want. Comment. I love talking with you guys, and thank you so much for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Double, I don't know why. See you.